everyone, it's Tatiana from Tatiana's Everyday Food and welcome back to my kitchen. So there's no better way to kick off the fall season than with this fantastic pumpkin cheesecake. I'm going to take it to the next level and add some cinnamon whipped cream and caramel on top. And this cheesecake is so good. You will love all the fall flavors. So we're going to add that pumpkin spice, some pumpkin puree, and I love the cinnamon whipped cream. It's so tasty, and the caramel sauce really finishes everything off. You guys will not want to eat any other dessert for weeks after you try this. So let's get started. Let's get started on our crust first. So in a small bowl here, I have a cup and a half of graham cracker crumbs. And today I use these cinnamon graham crackers. Just put them through a food processor until I had fine crumbs. And I love the extra little bit of cinnamon flavor that it adds to our crust. To my graham crackers, I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of melted butter. Just pour that right over the top. And take a spoon and just combine those two together until you have nice fine crumbs. Today I'm going to be using a 10-inch springform pan, and I've lined it with parchment paper just to make it easy to transfer the cheesecake once it's done. So I'm going to pour in my crumbs and then just use a large spoon and press the graham cracker crumbs into the bottom of the pan until you have a very even and firm layer. I've set aside my crust and now I'm going to start working on my cheesecake filling. So I have 4 bricks, and these are 8 ounces each of just regular cream cheese, and I've softened these to room temperature. I'm going to place them into my mixer. Now the secret to making a great cheesecake is whisking the cheese until it's really light and fluffy. So take the time and beat the cheese for about 5 to 7 minutes, and make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl pretty often until you have a really nice and fluffy mixture. Next I'm going to add in 1/2 cup of sour cream. And this is going to add that nice tangy flavor to our cheesecake. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm just going to give this a mix for a couple more minutes. And now let's talk about the spices that I'm going to be using today. So I have 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar. To that I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of each of ground ginger and allspice. So just toss those together. And now I'm going to add my white granulated sugar and spices into my cream cheese, along with 1/2 cup of packed dark brown sugar, and give that a mix for another couple minutes. And now I'm going to add in my eggs. So I have 4 large eggs that I've brought up to room temperature. Drop them right into our filling and mix this for a couple minutes. And again, don't forget to scrape down the sides of your bowl as often as you can so you get all those good ingredients combined together. And now for the star of our recipe, our pumpkin puree. So I have 1 3/4 cup of pureed pumpkin, and this is just a store-bought canned version. I think it works great for this recipe. So we're just going to spoon that right in. And this particular one doesn't have any added ingredients, no sugar, no spices, just pure pumpkin. Just toss that in there and give it a good mix until it's well combined. And now I'm going to pour in my filling into my prepared pan. And this smells so good. I love all that spiciness in there. So once you pour in the filling, you want to just give your pan a few hard taps to release any air bubbles and let it stand for about 10 minutes. You want to take a spatula and just smooth off the top so you have a nice and even finish, and then bake it in your oven at 325 for about 30 minutes. And then turn your oven temperature down to 300 degrees Fahrenheit and bake for another hour. At that point, you want to just turn off the oven, let the cheesecake stand in there for about an hour to cool off, and then you want to take it out and place it on your kitchen countertop and just let it cool completely at room temperature, and then place into your refrigerator to cool overnight. So to go with my pumpkin cheesecake, I wanted to prepare a cinnamon vanilla whipped cream. So I have 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm going to whisk that in my mixer. To that I'm going to add about 3/4 cup of confectioner's sugar, and for that cinnamon flavor I'm just going to add a dash of ground cinnamon. I'm going to pour my 1 cup of cream into a mixer bowl. I'm going to add my vanilla, so I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm going to add in my confectioner's sugar and cinnamon. I'm going to whisk this on high speed until I have a nice and fluffy whipped cream. All right, so my cheesecake has set overnight, and now it's time to take it out of the pan. So you want to take a flat spatula and just run it along the edges to release the cake from the pan. And then you just want to lift the ring off your cheesecake. And now to serve up your cheesecake, you want to take a sharp knife and cut a nice thick slice. Make sure you cut all the way to the bottom through the crust. And I usually take my cheesecake out about 30 minutes before serving, so it gives a little bit of time to thaw out from the refrigerator. All right, transfer that to my plate here. Look at that, doesn't that look gorgeous? And to finish things off today, I'm gonna add a little bit of caramel sauce over the top. Perfect, look at that. And I've transferred my whipped cream into a pastry bag. And you don't have to do this, you can also just put a spoonful on top. I'm gonna add a little dollop of my whipped cream. Perfect, and this is ready to be enjoyed. And now it's time to give our long-awaited pumpkin cheesecake a try. So I'm gonna grab tons of that whipped cream off the top, scoop on some of that caramel sauce. This is to die for good. It tastes so good. I love the texture of the cheesecake. It's very light and airy, fluffy, just the way you want a cheesecake to be. And it's so flavorful. You get tons of that cinnamon and nutmeg coming through. That pumpkin tastes so good, and I especially love everything on top. The whipped cream, the caramel, everything combined together tastes so good. You guys will love this cheesecake. So buy all the ingredients today, make this tomorrow, and everybody in your house is gonna love you. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video recipe. Next time you're looking for a great dessert, give this pumpkin cheesecake a try. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.